Hi, my name is Daniel. I play Yi Sang, and welcome to Heroes of Aeowe.
Where he left off was a strange burned, looks like the bottom of the burned dinner pot, or like cooked dinner with metal and augmentations related to some sort of melting looking monster with a red glowing van braces. Has just punched a hole literally through the cavern you're inside of. Behind him have come 10 armored in red and black armor soldiers, and they have bows that look like very powerful recurve bows aimed at all of you. What do you do?
Oh, we roll initiative, right?
Indeed,
Oh,
you
yeah.
do.
Well, I roll a 20.
Yeah, right now it
Talon-
looks like Yi Sang's at 20. I'm at 18. Talon has a 16.
Howie has a 7.
And our friend, actually, he's totally not your friend. The big clunky monster and his minions. So as a DM, what I do is I do not roll for each individual guy. I roll them as a unit. Because I think of them as an enemy unit for you guys. And they got a 17. So technically that means that Yi Sang goes first. Aaron goes next. The enemies go in between Talon and Howie. As in, they go right before Talon, and then Howie goes after Talon.
On my turn, I will cast Mage Armor, and then for my bonus action, I will use Blade Song, which gives me 2 bonus to my armor class and increase my walking speed by 10. I then have advantage on acrobatics checks and have a +2 bonus to con saving throw for concentration on a spell.
Okay, is that your turn?
Yes.
Alright, next up we have our friend Aaron.
Yeah, so I think I know what I'm going to do. Okay, it is concentration. 20-foot cube. Alright, so we're going to use... how many of these other guys are there? Not just the big guy, but...
10.
And they're within 90 feet of me?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm gonna use Entangle. Put a 20-foot cube to try and catch all of them in it. Roots just pop out of the ground and they start grabbing at their ankles. So that they can't move.
As the roots pull out of the ground, the roots are long, sinewy, snaky looking parts of the soil that latch onto these soldiers' legs. You hear muffled let's just say muffled swear words underneath their helmets. And they also some shout in surprise going, "Ah! What's that? What's that?" And some you hear Karasan Karaska, which is Orcid for something to the equivalent for the listeners of, and there are 10 enemies. They're Orcid in origin. They have black armor with red visors. And the plants are sort of like a thorn-like root system that lashes out of the ground. And that is extra where you hear the swearing from the Orcid, because those get into the chinks in their armor and start wreaking havoc. Alrighty.
Yeah, so it doesn't do any actual damage, but they have to make a strength check in order to not be restrained by them, and even then, it's still considered difficult terrain if they want to move around in it.
Well, bad luck to them. They get a 3.
Well, they're not going anywhere.
They clearly aren't. Well, moving on. We have our friend, the enemy. Although, as I said, they're not our friend. The enemy. The soldiers struggling around finally get their bearings. the big lumbering guy who was caught, but is still really strong, picks up this large metal beam that he has had in his hand, takes it between his two gauntlets. You notice the gauntlets seem to be red hot, that's why they're glowing. And he basically melts the metal in his hands, and it becomes two long pole-like clubs. And he starts pounding the earth as he reaches out towards Aaron. He aims for Aaron and throws one of them. Aaron, you are going to need to make a dexterity saving throw, because this thing's coming at you.
Aaron got a 23.
Aaron was able to jump out of the way with 8 to spare. It's a dex saving throw of 15.
Ooh, that's pretty high.
Oh yeah, this guy's pretty accurate. The metal sails past your head, glowing red hot, and slams into the wall with a large sounding clang, and sparks fly as it smacks into the rock wall. The other archers look at you guys, try to aim their bows, but with all the roots entangling them, they are missing. And that is their turn. Next up on the roster, we have... Go ahead.
No, I was waiting for your intro there, but it is Talon's turn, I believe, yes?
That is correct.
Okay, Talon looks over at Aaron and kind of frowns and turns back to the lumbering, hulking figure and says, "Have the Auroseds fallen so far that they send you to attack children? You wish to fight? Fight with me." Is the lumbering hawk inside the field of the entanglement?
Yes.
How far inside?
He's barely restrained, but he is restrained.
Can I attack him in melee and stay outside of the field, or do I need to enter into it?
Okay. And they're all kind of within, they're all bunched into this root mass entanglement. Because they're in like a spearhead formation where the troops of the Aurosed are behind this big strong guy.
So Talon looks over at the lumbering hawk, issues his challenge to him, and he's going to have to go into the entanglement field to engage with him. Is that correct?
Into the 20-foot cube, yes.
How far into it?
About 3 feet.
I'll take that chance. He goes in to engage with him in melee.
Okay. So, Aaron, can you please inform me what saving throw he needs to make?
It would be a strength saving throw, but it only does that when I cast it.
Okay.
So he's fine. It's just considered difficult terrain, so he will have to use double his movement, or his. So it was 3 feet in. It will count as 6 feet for his movement speed.
Definitely worth it.
Okay. What does the Warforged do?
Okay, the Warforged bangs his Tonfa up against his shield and then launches into an attack on this brute. And that will be an 8 to hit, which I'm going to assume does not.
That would be correct.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use my action surge, and I am going to attack again. Which would be an 18 for 11 piercing damage.
That hits. Your Tonfa bites into the bad dinner plate looking mess of this creature. The creature's eyes, which are kind of milky white, kind of like Howie's, but not pretty at all. They're ugly and misshapen and terrifying to behold. Look at you in surprise as your blade bites deep. Where do you hit him?
Right up underneath the arm. Since all these actions are basically all happening simultaneously, he launches those giant metal clubs over at Aaron, and when he does, Talon runs in and gets his tonfa right up underneath his arm and into the chink of the armor there at the armpit.
Creature roars in absolute fury and astonishment, and its eyes pop out of, well, not literally out of its head, but out of to a larger degree as it's surprised realizing it's been moved.
And I do not have a bonus action, so that will be my turn. And I am doing everything I can to make myself as large of a target as possible to both this thing and all the other enemies on the field.
Okay.
Yeah, well, you're taller than everybody else on the field right now, so it's probably pretty easy.
So next up we have Howie.
Alright. So are any of them within any of the bad guys within 10 feet of Howie?
I would say that within this 20-foot cube, you are just outside of it. So, yeah, you're probably about 10 feet away from one of them.
Okay. Howie will target that one with Eldritch Blast. So Howie will go ahead and roll that now. Should show up. It showed up on your end?
Yes.
Okay, so she has rolled a 21 to hit, 6 force damage, and because of her special ability, it does +2 cold damage.
Ice cascades along the armor of one of the troops that was trying to aim a bow at Yi Sang. And this troop member realizes their armor is frosting over and they're stuck in place both by roots and by ice.
Ooh. Howie says they're vulnerable to cold damage. Interesting. End of turn.
Alrighty, back at the top of the list we have Yi Sang. Koi Kastava was not involved in confronting them because, as I mentioned, he was off to the side discussing things with the general. The other troops that are in the area have either been incapacitated by falling rebel or they are protecting their prince now with spears pointed outwards. Koi stands with his sword, but they are too far away from you to engage.
Well, I'm not sure if fire damage will burn away the spike growth or will definitely burn away the ice, because I was thinking of just shooting all of them with burning hands, but now that they're frozen, I have to change up my strategy here.
It's only one man that has ice on them, right?
Correct.
Yeah, the
far away
damage from the
from-
fire might actually do more to kill him anyway. So,
Alright, I'm gonna try to do a second level burning hands, trying not to aim at Talon. So what burning hands is creatures within a 15-foot cone must make a dexterity saving throw, and they take 3d6 fire damage on a failsafe, or half on a successful one. But I'm casting the spell at the second level, so the damage will increase by 1d6, which means that now I do 4d6 instead of 3d6. But yeah, I'm gonna cast a second level Burning Hands. Well, Yi Sang just pulled out one of her scrolls and sort of used her brush to make a flickering motion. And then from that, the inks exploded within a 15-foot cone, and they all need to make dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Well, What's the dex number that I need to have for a saving throw?
It's 12.
Okay, because they got a 14.
Okay, they will take half damage from whatever I roll, so I will roll it now. Okay, so I got a 16, but that's half for them, so they will take 8 fire damage.
Okay. And they gasp, and the one who was frozen by Howie, you realize their armor bursts into flames. They're trying to put it out. But you also realize the roots that are binding them have started to burn away.
1 sec, let me double check something here. Are they restrained by the root?
So, what happens after the ice starts to melt and the roots start to burn away? Do you have any follow-ups to that?
I don't have anything else, so I will end my turn there. Actually, I will back off a little bit. Let's say 15 feet.
Nope,
No,
Aaron
Aaron.
is after.
I was gonna say.
They are after. We have the enemy after Aaron. There we go. Aaron, your
Okay.
turn.
So I don't want to cast another spell just because I don't want to lose concentration on Entangle. So I'm gonna pull out a spear and poke at the big guy. So I'll have to close distance a little bit.
You actually can use another spell as long as that spell does not require concentration.
Yeah, I don't have very many other spells that I would want to use right now with that don't have concentration. So,
Gotcha.
and I have healing spells, but I'm not going to burn those just yet. All right, so spear. Okay, that was a 12.
So, 12 does not hit.
All right, so I'll burn my bonus action to unarmed strike it then. Ugh, that was nasty too. All right. So I try to shove my spear into it, doesn't work. Try to kick it, also doesn't work.
The thing grunts and goes "Rah, rah, rah, rah," at you as you try this. And every time you try, it crosses the metal club it has and blocks your path. "Brr," it says to you.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't catch that. You're gonna have to say it again. Yeah, okay, I heard that one.
It roars at you and holds up the club, trying to hit you with it. This thing is positively annoyed now, and it goes after you and seeks to hit you with this club instead of throwing it. Does a 16 hit?
That's my armor class, so yes.
Okay. You take, give me a minute here. For this particular one, it is not your regular stat of a club. You take 10 damage from this thing.
Ow. Okay.
It says at you and raises the club into the air to try to get at you again. But one of the troops puts a hand on the thing. Not now, it says in the Orsa tongue. That particular troop, aims its bow at Yiseng. Fires. Does a 16 hit?
Yes.
Okay. Give me a minute here. You take 8 damage.
Actually, is it too late to shield?
Is that a reaction?
Yes.
Is that a magical shield or a shield?
A magical shield.
And is that a reaction?
Yes.
Okay.
Shield is a magical spell that you can use as a reaction when someone targets you. It adds +5 to your armor class.
That
So-
is actually how shield is designed to be used. You don't use shield until you are attacked.
Yeah. My AC is now 20 until the start of my next turn, I believe.
Okay. So the arrow glances off and smacks to the ground, thudding into the dirt below your feet and quivers there. And you have shielded yourself from said attack. That is the end of the enemy's turn.
Okay, I guess it's back to me then again, yes?
That would be correct for Talon.
And how is my little friend there doing?
He's about at half health from
Okay.
just one hit.
And the hulking figure in front of him, how does he look?
Little slashed up, but other than that, pretty decent.
Okay. Can I put myself between him and Aaron?
You can.
Okay, I'm gonna put myself directly between the two of them, and I am going to attack again with my Tonfa.
Okay, roll for it.
That will be a 19.
That hits.
Now, since he is engaged in melee with Aaron, I am able to use my sneak attack damage on this attack as well. So that will be a 19 to hit for a total of 18 piercing damage.
Good roll. It's great. And in that case, you are able to cut through his armor, and there is a large gash that you give him. And he goes, roars in frustration and pain.
And I speak to him in Auraced, and I tell him, I am Gildran, and you are unworthy.
You get something to the effect of Nistargomoth back at you, meaning I am the apex. I am not to be cowed or bow down to you. And he tries to get at you, but you have got him good with your blade. Last but not least, we have Howie. Howie, what do you want to do?
Well, there is an ability Howie has from a feat that we were granted.
Mm-hmm.
So she's able to use Dissonant Whispers. It says, you whisper a melody that only one creature of your choice within range can hear. Racking it with terrible pain, they must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 3d6 psychic damage. It must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from you.
Okay.
So, Howie's going to use that on the creature that is closest to Aaron. Hopefully, the creature runs away from Howie and further from Aaron as well. We'll see. Or, if it fails, then it was worth a shot.
So what do I need to roll for this as the GM?
Yeah, so the Wisdom DC is a 13.
This thing is really bad at rolling tonight. And it fails. It gets... it got a 2 crit fail.
Alright, 11 psychic damage is what we rolled. So that's pretty awesome.
The large and lumbering creature howls in agony of some sort of melody going through its mind, if what is left of its mind at least, or what is its mind. And it stumbles backwards, crashing into 2 of the ranks of Orosed, and retreats, trying to get through the hole. The Orosed look at one another, and some start fleeing. 2 of them leave with the Orosed, leaving 8 behind. And the way that they get out of the root entanglement is they cut themselves free, desperately trying to get free.
So is the brute in front of me using his turn to disengage, or is he just fleeing?
He's fleeing.
In that case, do I get an attack of opportunity?
You do.
Dissonant Whispers requires the target to move using its reaction if available. So that activity provokes attack of opportunity. If it was a gust of wind or something pulling on them that forces them to do it, then it doesn't provoke attack of opportunity. So in this case, it would provoke an attack of opportunity because they're using their reaction to move. Yes.
In that case, with your permission, Madam DM, I am going to attack again with my Tonfa.
Go ahead.
That will be a nat 20, which is a perfect opportunity to explain how you handled critical hits.
So you, because, yep, that's right. It's focused on Aaron. You get to use your sneak attack again. So on a hit, on a nat 20, you get to add your crit number to the nat 20 to make it even worse of damage than just the 20 to hit. So they take X amount of damage, plus whatever that specific number.
Okay, with a critical hit, I have 27 points of piercing damage.
And for that then, that works by you doubling your dice on that, is that correct?
That is correct. That is my normal attack plus an extra set of dice for both my weapon and for my sneak attack due to the fact that it was a critical hit. And that is 27 points of piercing damage.
Okay, cool. And that immediately brings this creature to his knees with a loud and the cavern echoes for a moment as this really odd looking creature plunges to his knees, looking up helplessly at your Tonfa coming down upon him. How do you want to do it?
Okay, so he turns to run, and as he does, Talon uses that opportunity to step in close and just thrusts his Tonfa forward with everything he's got, and it ends up hitting the sweet spot between the helmet and the shoulders, and the Tonfa just rips through his inner structure and pokes out through the front as his eyes just go dark.
And thus the beast man, or whatever this thing is, you guys don't know at this point in time, you might later, dies. The other Orset look in shock as their large smashing champion has fallen to the ground, dead. As you look at this creature fall, the Orset take one look at it, see Koi with his flashing blade in the corner, even though he can't reach you guys, take one look at the Warforged, and run.
And stay out.
There is a quick pattering of about 10 sets of feet. Well, actually, 9 sets of feet, because the other guy's still kind of frozen. And stuck. And they quickly try to cut themselves free. They stumble out of their root systems, and they are able to clamber out of the hole. Well, you guys, I'm sure, harry them onwards.
Yeah, if we're out of turn order, I'm gonna just burn one of my slots to heal myself.
Mm-hmm. You're out.
I'll help you with that too. I'll use a level 1 cure wounds.
Wait, are you casting it, or am I casting it now?
Well, I'm casting one on you, and you can cast one on yourself.
Okay, well, let me see what you got first.
Yeah, give me a sec. I just need to check the healing for that.
I didn't realize you had healing magic.
Level 1 cure wounds should be a 1d8, correct?
Yes. Okay, I
Yeah,
see it now.
plus whatever your spellcasting modifier is for that.
So I healed you for 7 damage.
Oh, thank you very much.
It's no problem.
You know what? I'm fine right now unless we get into another fight, then I might have to do something. So, thank you for that.
While we're waiting here a little, I'm gonna use some detect magic and see what I can learn. So Howie has ability with her Eldritch invocations. She can cast detect magic at will. So I'll go ahead and press that. And it lasts up to 10 minutes. And she can sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of her. And she'll walk around and try to sense if there's anything important or special in the room magic related.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the giant statue man lights up like a Christmas tree.
Alright. So, contrary to Howie's explanations on the fact that, or in seeking, that there is a light up like a Christmas tree sort of situation with the Warforged, nothing shows for the Warforged. Howie?
No magic at all on the Warforged.
No magic at all.
Howie is so confused. But she will continue to look around the rest of the room.
One of the things that does catch your eye is Koi lights up like a Christmas tree, though. And so does Ye Sang, and some writing on the wall at the back of the cavern. Seems to be a tally of days. But there's something else odd about it that you can't figure out.
Howie gets closer to it, the writing.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to Heroes of Aeowe. Our Dungeon Master is Annalai the Thanet. Howie Gokis is played by Sanguine. Jung Yi-sang is played by myself, Daniel. Aaron Cloudspark is played by Neuron. Talon is played by Mike. Music provided by Tim Galvin.